Hi, can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So it's CARYS, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
Karis.
CARYS, of course. And for those that don't know, CARYS, born Aviva Mongillo in Markham, Canada, is one of the most up-and-coming pop stars right now. Super buzzworthy. Spotify has her in like every list in the world. So, we're really happy to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you just released a fantastic, fantastic single and the video too for No More, and we'll get to that in just a second. But you have such a fascinating life stories, Karis. So if I may say so, I mean, some of my viewers may know you from Netflix, from the show Working Moms, which was originally a CVC show. Of course, you played Juniper, but you've also like done some really cool stuff. You've been in backstage in a Canadian popular show. Multi-talented, you sing, you act well, a bunch of stuff. So long story short, it's great to have you here.
Oh, what a great intro. I'm like, what am I? I'm so amazing.
Well, listen, these are the facts. These are the facts, Karis. So thanks for your time. So, I mean, just tell us about your year, Karis. It's been a crazy year for everybody. Kind of tell us like what January through like March, when everyone's rug got pulled out from under their feet.
Totally. I was coming out of a place with Princesses Don't Cry where someone's going to the bathroom in my house. This is the reality of this. So sorry about that. So when I was coming into the new year, I was feeling really hopeful. We had written No More, which is my newest single that just came out, and feeling good about the direction that we were heading in with music. And then in March, when we went into lockdown, it did feel like it was like, is everything going to get put on hold? Like, what's going to happen? And especially like being home every day with like not much to do, coming from a lifestyle where like every day I'm driving to the city, I'm doing music work, I'm writing, I'm doing sessions, I'm traveling for work, to just being at home took quite a toll on my mental health. So coming out of that, it ended up being such a great blessing. I think it helped me see a lot of things I wasn't able to see before, with certain patterns and thoughts that were limiting me and holding me back. So I think it's all been, for me, I've been able to see the bright side of it and see what this time's been able to bring me. And luckily, we've still been able to release that song and a video, which we filmed in quarantine. So
yeah. I mean, you haven't stopped since you're like 7 years old, basically. It's like you've been going nonstop.
Yeah,
So
by choice.
So this has been like, must have been like an interesting like little time out, right? Kind of look back at what you've done already. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's been just different kinds of work. I'm used to like moving around a lot, and now it's been more like creative stuff and meetings and interviews. So it's been really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. New ways to connect, Karis. So tell us a little bit about your childhood in Markham, Canada. You have a brother, but like, do you come from an artistic family? Like, tell us a little bit about like the early years.
Yeah, I come from a family of, my mom is a marketing manager, and my father does heating and air conditioning. And my brother and I are very, very creative. My mom and my dad are both very creative people, but they didn't go into the arts.
Your brother is film school, right? Your brother just started film school, correct?
Yeah, he just got in. He's starting in September.
Good, yeah.
Which is, I'm so proud of him. He went through a lot of like, oh, I want to be a vet, and then he wanted to be like a zookeeper, and so he went through a lot of things. And like the fact that he chose film to put his time into, it felt like a really good place for us to bond. Although we already are really close, me and my brother. So
great.
it was just like another thing we could.
You have a director and producer for the rest of your life for your videos, so I'm sure the label and the marketing department is going to be happy with that. Sure.
Yeah, and I never have to pay him. I'm just kidding.
So you guys grew up. It was really not really an artistic family, but you and your brother came like, had the DNA in you.
Yeah, I don't know where we got it from. I think I blame like the internet for, which in a good way, not blame in like a bad way, but like I think having the internet, having access to so many different kinds of artists and different kinds of art and music, and just getting to see the world on a screen, I think really open up some creative outputs for people these days. So, or I'll be a creative source of inspiration is what I was trying to say there. Yeah.
No, for sure, Karis. And there's something that I love this story. You're 10 years old. You go to a karaoke party with your friends. random, just like we all go to this random karaoke parties, and like you get up there and you sing, and everyone's like, all right, Aviva, it's your turn, whatever. And you leave everyone godsmacked. Everyone's jaws are in the floor. And everyone's like, dude, like, you can sing. Tell us a little bit about this party, like, or like, is this the first time people told you that this and you like believed it?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were gobsmacked. Oh, now I can't remember, but I don't even remember what song I sang. I just remember not really thinking too much of it. Like, I was always a very like loud and performative, dramatic child anyway. So whether I was a good singer or not, I definitely was gonna get up and sing karaoke. But hearing that they were like, that was good. Like, I remember hearing that people were like, you like sang it well. I got really excited because I just love to sing. So I was like, oh, if I can sing, like that's an awesome thing to be, an awesome gift to have.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you have two gifts, right? You have acting, obviously, as well. Let me ask you about your high school, Unionville High. It's a very it's a tough school for those that don't know. It has it's all artistic. It has visual arts, music, dance, and drama. It's tough to get in. You have to audition, the whole 9 yards. So just kind of tell us about like what attending a school like this is like. Is there like a lot of like pressure, competition? Like just like paint us a picture of like a random day.
Well, I don't think I would have been very enthusiastic about high school if I didn't go to that high school. Like I'm grateful every day because I was supposed to go to a French immersion high school because I did French immersion my whole life. And I begged my parents, I was like, please let me go to this art school. I'll do French. And I did. I took French all 4 years. But I was like, I want to go to this art school. I want to do drama. I'm really glad I did. There wasn't competition. It was a really like family kind of experience in an institution where I feel like people get switched around a lot. You never know who's going to be in your class. Kind of, it's pretty like whatever you want to do. And drama class was like that grounding thing where every time you went, it was all the same people. And we all had each other for all those 4 years. And we got to grow and learn a lot about ourselves and our craft together, which was such an important experience in my life. So I'm really glad I went there.
Definitely. And you started backstage while you were still in school?
Yeah, I think I got backstage in the 11th grade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I mean, it's a great show. Your career is awesome, and we'll kind of glance over that because we want to focus on the music, but people should definitely check your acting chops out. They're pretty great. I want to talk to you about songs about boys. Your first EP as you were still performing as Aviva.
Yeah.
It's great. 20-minute, 6-song, love it. It's super digestible in one sitting. You go through all the emotions from the first lines of Wild, I've seen it all, let the bridges fall, and into the final lines of This Time, everything. It just comes across perfectly. But if people have to start somewhere, start with Hype. But anyway.
Yeah, start with Hype.
Start with Hype.
Because it only goes up, I feel like, after that.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like we're hyping Aviva, like start with song. We're not, and the song, by the way. But how do you look back at this EP, Aviva, 3 years after it came out? How do you look back?
Well, Princesses Don't Cry, which is the song that right now is the most popular that I have, was on Songs About Boys originally. So looking back at that time of my life 3 years ago, like not knowing what would have come from that and making those songs just for the sake of like basically seeing if I could. I always loved to write songs. I love singing. So that was a totally experimental, just I'm 17 years old and I want to make music kind of thing. And even now when I listen to it, I'm really proud of it. Although there's things now I hear in the songs where I'm like, oh, I would have done that differently, or like maybe this chorus could have been better. But I think even the fact that I can think that now makes me proud that I've come from that place and that I've grown and I've been able to see that growth in my career. I feel very fortunate.
No, it's excellent. Trust me, for a debut, it's fantastic. And, I talk to musicians all the time and they always say, look, a record is never ready. It's just released. Kind of.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It never stops like being finished. It's not, so you're on the right path there. And a lot of success with this EP, CARYS. What does it feel like? Because this is crazy. I mean, for us that have not been in this situation, what does it feel like to have your face gigantic in a digital billboard, in Dundas Square or in Times Square, and you're just like looking at it, like what is that feeling? Explain it to us.
So the Dundas Square billboard that I got to have because of Spotify, that was like amazing. Of course, it was like right at the peak of the pandemic, so like I didn't get to go see it in Dundas Square. But having that photo, I feel like is like very clout worthy. It's like, look at me, I was in Dundas Square. it's a very like monumental thing to happen. I've never been on a billboard, so
That's great. Obviously, yeah, pandemic or not, that speaks for itself.
yeah.
You know, exactly. Just we can all just go watch it. It's 6 feet apart, you know, and with our masks on, but go see it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, CARYS, that's great. So in 2019, you began performing under your new moniker, CARYS. And the single Bad Boy is released actually almost a year ago today, like in a couple of weeks, July 26th, if I'm not mistaken. Princesses Don't Cry. It's a really nice song, but this is a crazy story, right? Look, us old geezers, CARYS, we're just finding out about TikTok. Like through the pandemic, we're like, all right, I guess we'll download it, see what it's about. And like now we can't, now we're like old people who can't like let it go, right? But
Yeah.
TikTok is really important. And this song, it's one of the most popular songs, if not the most popular song used for TikTok videos ever. 850,000 streams. That's a crazy story. So just pin me a little bit about that, about a picture about that story. Like, how did you find out that this was happening with your song? You know, who told you? The whole thing.
Yeah, I was on Twitter. Oh no, my friend, I don't really use Twitter, but my friend sent me a link to Twitter and said like, oh, this came up on my feed, your song is in it. So I clicked the link and I had never heard of TikTok. So I was like, oh, it's a TikTok, okay. But it had like 30,000 views on that video. I was like, oh, that's really cool that this one video used my song. Then my other friend sent me a different TikTok and I was like, oh, I already saw this one. And I clicked on it and it was a different one. So like people just started sending me links and then I was very curious about what the heck was going on. So I went to Spotify and I saw that my streams had gone up like 2 million more than what they were at for like 3 years. So I was like, okay. I had no clue. So I messaged my manager. I was just like, I don't know if this is important, but one of my old songs is like doing well on this app. And that's what started it all. That's how we discovered it. And thank you, TikTok. It's really all I have to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, your song obviously strikes a chord with people, you know. That's a really nice thing. What feedback have you gotten just from people about these songs, like songs like this, what they mean? Because you sing about really important things, you know, really encouraging stuff.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I've gotten like mostly positive feedback. There's obviously the couple trolls that are like, princesses cry? Like, what do you mean? Like, that's unhealthy. Which is like, yeah, totally. To actually take it literally, like, princesses don't cry, I think that's not the point. But like, overall, it's been mostly positive feedback. People sending me a lot of like messages saying like, even just things saying like, your song made me feel so understood, and like, oh, this song, like when I heard it, I felt so much better. And I think that's the reason I put music out into the world, you know, just like hoping that there are other people out there who can relate to what I'm saying and how I feel, and creating, you know, a community of people that all feel this in the same ways.
Yeah, absolutely, CARYS. And now let's move on to your latest song that you released, I think last week or like maybe 10 days ago, No More. Great song. It's going up the charts all over the digital media. But let's start with the video for a second. We briefly touched at the beginning on the famous director, your sibling. He helped you film it, right?
Yeah, he did.
And the location of the video, why don't you tell us about the location?
The location of the video was my childhood home, which I'm in right now. You can't see because I have this lovely setup. But yeah, I was filmed at my childhood home. Like,
so your parents still live there?
Yeah.
Okay. So you didn't have to go to the neighbors and be like, hi. You know,
well, we did, but my neighbors are my cousins.
Oh.
So they let us use their backyard, which was, so our backyard's like, it's very lucky. They connect in the back.
Okay.
So all the grass trampoline shots in the video are all my aunt's yard. And the ones in the pool are in my yard. So
there you go. For all the fans, that's a little behind the scenes secret right there.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, that's cool. So your brother helped you film it. And it's trippy. Like, tell us about like the effects of the video. It's a great video. The song is perfect, but the video is even better. Just tell us about like where the idea came from, like to do the angles, to do the effects, and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, it started with we knew we wanted to make a video, and we knew we probably were going to have to make one at home. So it started with that, where we had this like box for what we could do. And the first thing I saw visually was using the trampoline from a low angle, getting me jumping in the air, really a free video. So I brought that to my team. We called in a director to work with us over FaceTime, and he also directed the Princesses Don't Cry video. So really comfortable working with him, and he's awesome. His name's Boy Wonder. He's sick. So we discussed with him my vision of that thing, of being free. And he came up with these visuals. Like, I got to give him all the credit. Like, everything down to like my favorite shot is the balloons one where I'm leaning.
Yeah.
Just because my favorite line in the song is like, you're not somebody I'm gonna lean on no more. And the fact that I'm like leaning with no string, like I was attached to a string, that was one of the effects, and he removed it digitally, so it just looks like I'm just leaning in the air with balloons. And I was just like, that is gorgeous.
Yeah,
like, I love that shot.
No, it's a great shot, but the song strikes different, like CARYS. I'll tell you why. Because obviously you wrote it, thinking of probably a relationship or something that we all go through. But I think because of the pandemic, I think it's taken another level, another meaning. Like, I mean, look, just the way the video starts, right? Like, it starts with somebody like in a down, sour period, and then it just goes back up. And I'm wondering if you've realized this, or like, how your song has taken a new meaning for people. Everyone's going through something. Everyone's maybe lost a job, they lost something, health, whatever. And it's like you gotta stand up and you gotta keep fighting and move your demons. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Wow, I never thought of it that way, and that thinking that it could mean something to people for that reason, like, makes me even happier. I think, like, because the universal message of the song was, although it was about like in the context of a relationship, it's just mostly about like not settling for less than what you deserve. So, and then that can apply to anything.
Exactly. CARYS, that's awesome. I mean, look, you've been so great with your time, but why don't you, let me ask you a few quick music questions, since we're like a music podcast. What was your first concert that you ever attended?
Hilary Duff.
Hilary Duff. Okay. She's great. I know her. She's really nice. How did you like it? Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. I remember I was sitting in the audience, and I had only ever listened to her CD. So when we got there and it was live, I was like, oh, her voice sounds different live. Like, I expect it to sound exactly like the CD.
Right.
And I was like, why doesn't it sound like the CD? And then my mom explained to me, they're like, oh, well, they edit the CD to make it sound like as good as possible. And then I was like, oh, okay, so I can be a singer. Like, I can edit I was like, oh, I can edit my voice.
That's cool.
It's awesome.
That's cool. That's great. Also saw on your social media channels that you saw Celine Dion.
Oh yeah,
Canadian icon. Tell us about her. About seeing her in Canada.
I'm sorry.
No. Tell us about her. About seeing her.
My mom and I grew up listening to Celine Dion. So when she went on tour again, we were like, I don't care how much it is, we're going to Celine Dion. This is like, it's meant to be. And I'm really glad we went, because it was the show of a lifetime. I was crying through the whole thing. It was very special.
Oh my God, CARYS, that's awesome. Well, look, you've been so kind with your time. We've gone over. Let me leave you with this. Tell us like a little bit about the future. Obviously, we don't know what's happening with the virus still. I know here in Miami, where we are actually taking a step backwards. Like yesterday, they reclosed the gyms and the restaurants. So it's like, oh my God, what's happening? So what are your plans, obviously, with touring? What are your plans with releasing new music? Because I'm sure like we all can't wait to see you on the road. That's what we all ultimately want. But, what are your plans?
Yeah, I can't wait to get back on the road. That's probably what I miss the most being in quarantine, is performing live and getting out and getting to like do my work with other people. But I'm thinking as soon as it's safe and as soon as we feel like, because even in Canada, we haven't really gone into too much of we haven't opened too much yet. So once we get into a phase where maybe the borders open and events start happening, I'm sure we're going to jump right in to like performing live again, for sure.
Excellent. And listen, and to all my followers, whenever you see the name CARYS, which you will start seeing in festivals, you're going to start seeing it in posters, you got to go see her, because her voice and her stage presence is fantastic. And you're going to hear for her for a long, long time. So CARYS, this has been super enjoyable.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jamie. Thank you for your time.
Of course, absolutely. And you're a sweetheart too. So thanks a lot, and best of luck to you, your family, and everyone going forward. All right?
Thank you so much. Stay safe and take care.
Bye.
Bye.